Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit Review time. Today we've got Hobby 2000, which is a rebox of the Takom ZUS-57-2, the 1955 to the 2017, a very long-lived piece of anti-aircraft artillery or AAA sight. As you can see on the box, pretty much Hobby 2000 standard way of doing their box art. Like I said before, this is actually a rebox of the Takom kit, okay? So a little bit of blurb about it, feel free to pause and read. Okay, kit number for this one is 35001. And again, a little bit more obviously about the health and safety. Okay, in the box, so I didn't do the actual review of the Takom kit, so this is just a rebox and right the way through down to the original sort of Takom colour callouts as well, which is a little bit odd. Okay, we've got a little booklet down in here, which looks very Takom-esque. Okay, we've got the shells, we've got the top turret, as you can see. We've got the road wheels, which are separate, which comes in quite handy. Yeah, the links, they're separate track links. Good luck with that one. Okay, and then obviously we've got various sprues with all the parts, which we'll have a look through as we go through. So we've got wheels, we've got jerry cans, we've got the main hull, all the other bits, as you can see, as we drag all of these out in here. And then down in the bottom, we have a bag and a bag. So we've got extra markings down in here as well for the Polish ones. And we've got some decals down there, which we'll have a look at the moment. So, the instructions. Okay, so I don't know, yes, they are going to do it this way as well, so we'll have to go up page at a time. Parts call out right the way through down on here, and then the instructions are Takom's as well. Okay, so it's just a straightforward Takom rebox, as we were saying. So, usual thing, we're going through the motions of putting all the road wheels onto the lower hull, working with the details on the upper hull. It is a purely exterior model, there's no interior details to these ones. All the hatches, latches, all the bits and pieces on there. 92 individual tracks, at least they're in one piece and it's not multi-tracks that make up tracks. You've seen them in the past with 7 bits to make up one. So anyway, that's those. And then working our way through, putting all the items on the top, going right the way through. As you can see, plenty of detail in these kits. Takom, let's face it, built a few of their kits now, never failed to impress with all of those, all the parts going through. And then we've got some of the track stuff going down in there, all the details, the tow, the anti-ditching bars, tow cables, all the usual things as you might expect on the actual armour. And then we're looking slightly different because of the actual turret system as this one goes in. So again, some very nice details going down into these. And as we can see, the actual gun system is fully detailed, as we can see. So that's actually very, very nice touch. But obviously don't forget, this thing is an open topped, so you can see all this detail down in the top turret. And then obviously we've got the shells and all the parts being fitted down into there, all the parts around, and there we go, there's that gun being fitted down into it. Really interesting piece of artillery, this one. Or anti-aircraft artillery, but let's face it, most of them are used on the flat and used for ground-to-ground work or surface-to-earth surface attacks. Okay, there's it going down, being put on, and that looks absolutely gorgeous with all the shells down in there like that. Very, very cool indeed. Okay, then you've obviously got this open top turret and you've got the cover as well, so you have got the dust cover that will go over the top being fitted down onto the lower chassis down on there like that. A couple of the other markings, obviously it didn't come with the original, so we've got the Polish one as we saw before, Slovenian one, okay, we've got one from Syria, and then we've got another one in Syria on the desert as well, so that's slightly different to the other one. A nice bit of artwork with it just like that. Okay, so obviously, as I said, when Takom did their boxing, it came standard with these. So again, lots of interesting markings down in here. So we've got those, we've got the East German ones. Okay, then obviously we've got everybody else's Iraqi ones, let's face it, more German ones. Oh God, around down here, lots of different ones to call out in here. So we've got an Egyptian one from the actual 6-day war as well. We've got a Finnish one. Who else we got down in here? That's got to be Iran. So we've got an Iranian one there, another Iranian one, and then, as you might expect, we have got a Vietnamese one as well. So plenty of options down in there. Some very, very cool markings. So down in here, let me just grab our closer camera. Okay, so this is the Polish markings. okay, which actually are Hobby 2000's one. So these are an extra that's been put in by Hobby 2000. Obviously, as we can see, they're printed by Cartograph. So that's actually a very nice sign indeed. The original ones, I don't know who did when it was actually done by Tackham, because I don't think it was Cartograph with them. No, it's not. Okay, but that's actually the ones there, as we can see. So you've got all the different versions. So you've got plenty of scope for different type of stuff on here. And I have to say, just being honest, I'm going to pop these in here. They're here this time, keep them safe. The box art, for once, does not do this kit justice, because this particular anti-aircraft gun, you think it doesn't look much when you look at the box art like this, but actually it's really nice because it's got an open turret. So we can actually look down into the depths of all the workings of the actual gun, which is far better than, you know, other ZSUs or the later variants that came along afterwards that had a roof on and stuff like that. Again, as you can see, beautiful work as always by Tackham on this one. Gorgeous sharp details on this right the way around. A little bit of texture in the moulding, which is really nice. And again, on the inside we've got plenty of detail, because you will see some of this. So it is detailed on the inside and on the top there, just like that. So that's actually very nice indeed. The lower hull, which is sealed, let's just cut a way in. Out of that. Right, okay. So as you can see, really very nice details, top and bottom. We've got the injection port needs to be removing. Apart from that, the rest of it is all very, very nice indeed. Typical Tackham, good, solid, crisp details, very sharp, you know, so obviously the bolt heads, things like that, got plenty of tactile feel to them as well. Okay, as we got these here, okay, as you can see, we've got 5 packs of shells. So that's all your shells that obviously you have it in at the top. So as you said, big old gun on this one. So it is a 57mm. The road wheels, there's no point really getting these out. They are what they are, again in plastic, but you can slip those on afterwards instead of having to spray them in situ and things like that. That's a little bit different. Down in here we've got a bag full of all various parts. Okay, so we can just get in here. So that's quite a nice touch. We've got a braided cable for the tow line. So although it's coming off at the end, so you might need to dip it in a bit of super glue or plasti dip or usual things, okay, to seal that up. Okay, we've got some clear parts for the periscopes, the various things, the observation things. Okay, we've got photo etch, which unfortunately being in here, as we can see, has got dented to hell. But again, it's actually very, very thin. Very nicely done as well for all the grills and all the bits and pieces. And to be honest, it's not going to take too much to straighten that out. Okay, we've got the links for all the tracks. So again, they are all individual. And did we say 92 per side? So fun for all the family, but it looks like they are separately injection molded. So it's not like you've got cleanup. So it should be a straightforward job putting these together. I don't know if they will hold their own weight. Let's have a quick test. Okay, so let's just see if we can pop a few together and see if they'll hold. Oh, they do. Look at that. Actually, there you go. I'll take it all back. If I'm ever going to do tracks, these are the ones I want to do, because look, they're really nice. But you can probably see on the top here, it's got a slight ejector pin mark, but they will hold themselves together like that. All right, which is quite a nice touch. So what you can actually do, get a few together and then either PVA glue it so it's still a little bit flexible, or just glue them in place as you go, but at least they will hold. They're not going to hold permanently because they do just fall apart if you give them a little bit of pressure, but again, they do knit together, so that's quite nice as well. So that was a lot easier cleanup than it might be if you were doing a big old job. Okay, so this is a nice touch as well. This is a one-piece injection molded for the dust cover. So this is the tarp that goes over the top, and it's in rubber or rubber-esque, so you can see it's a little bit movement to it. So again, that's actually quite nice as well. So you'll be able to mold that in exactly how you want it. And again, it's a nice little bit of oils on there, a little bit of dry brushing, the usual bits and pieces. That'll look absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let me just slide them out the way. Right, starting off in the bigger screws, we'll work our way in. Okay, if I can get in the bags. So, first sprue, or big sprue I should say, up is J, and as you can see it's typical Tackham, let's face it, right the way through. Nice universal layout and all the rest of it, but all the parts are very, very clean, and the actual locating points are incredibly small in cases where it needs to be. So like this one here, tiny little ones, which again is another very nice touch. So if we just work our way through, you can see a lot of this stuff is actually going to be for the guns, because you've got all the various wheels and handles and various bits and pieces that are going to make up a lot of that detail. So as you can see, plenty again. All looks pretty good. We've got no real sign of any flash or anything like that. Certainly no sink marks that I can see. We have got obviously quite a bit of ejector pin marks, but I assume they're all out of the way. Having built a bit of Tackham now, they don't tend to be where they're spotted anyway. So it's not like one of those ones you're going to have to go around and do loads of cleanup. Good sharp detail on all of that, I have to say. Okay, next bag up. Okay, this is sprue S. So as we can see down on here, another nice good clean sprue right the way through. So we've got a de-ditching log at the top here, things like that. But generally all very nice indeed. Good textures to all of this. Again, good clean sharp details right the way through on this one. It's actually very nice indeed. Again, it's just Tackham always have that sort of crispness to all of their plastic. Even though it's in quite a soft plastic, it's really sharp. Like these bolt heads here, when you rub your finger over it, they actually got quite a sharp edge to them. Okay, next up we've got the deck, it looks like, and some of the parts for the guns and all the rest of it. So that's down in here on sprue P. As you can see, some of the bigger parts here. So obviously double-sided really onto this one. This is the underside of the turret. Down in here, then obviously got the upper deck, and these are the sides for the guns, giving you an idea how big these are. Nice little touches, as you can see, the detail and this sort of strengtheners down under here, but also it's on the other side as well, because obviously this is the floor, but all the ejector pins are down here where this thing's going to be covering them up. So again, another nice touch there. Top deck, as you can see, so obviously you're going to have grills and photo etch going to go over, but these bolt heads are very sharp. The tooth thing round in here for the drive, for the turret, very nicely done as well, and all the other parts on here. So you say tops of the sides, so obviously these will be where the turret would be on the edges of those, really nice. This is the sides of the guns. This thing has got a huge gun system onto that one, very large as well. Everything else is pretty good. All the ejector pins are either flush or slightly recessed, but none of them are standing proud, which is good. Okay, so either my blades had it in my knife, or nothing seems to want to cut today. Okay, so down in here in L, as you can see, we've got the drive, we've got those tanks and the various parts. That looks all very nice indeed. Again, nice, good, clean, crisp indeed. Really nice. Again, I call it soft plastic. It's a little bit of a hybrid, I know, because it's not that soft. It actually feels pretty good. Okay, sprue V, we've got, is it V? Yes. No, or is it A? Oh, cool. No, that could be A, I suppose. That could be sprue A, or it's an up-down V. Don't know. Anyway, wheels. Lots of detail on this. Obviously, all the suspension, the outer hubs, you've got your drive, sprockets, the road wheels, as you can see down in here. And again, because obviously normally you would have the parts on there. But again, looking closely, you see the detail in these. Absolutely gorgeous. Very nice indeed. And even on the blind side, plenty of detail in all of this. So that's actually very nice indeed. Okay, down in here, which is N, we can see we have got another match pair. So we've got two of these as well. Okay, and again, some really very nice details. As you can see, got the barrels there. These are one-piece barrels, so you have got a little bit of a burring running through, but a couple of swipes with a sander or deburring tool, that'll take care of that, no problem at all. All the other parts good, solid, clean, crisp, very hard to see. And again, with this outer barrel, you could easily sort of drill this out, just come in there, drill it out and go down the lines. I'm not sure if there's an aftermarket one available, no doubt there will be in the future. Okay, last up, some more parts for the gun. Get in. There we go. Can't find your way in. Okay, sprue M, or is it W? We'll never know. No, Tim. Okay, as you can see, starting down one end, these are all parts for the guns. Again, beautiful detail, good, nice, solid bits going down in here. And again, on the blind side, again, really very, very nice, good, sharp type details on that. Fantastic. I have to say, I overlooked this, obviously, when Takum came out, because I never reviewed it. But having seen this one now, obviously reboxed by Hobby 2000, it's one of those bits of armour that, side profile, not a lot going on. Look at it coming downwards, all that gorgeous detail in the turret and things like that. What's not to love? So you've got best of both worlds. You've almost got, you know, fully interior detail that you can see. And that's always been my bugbear with armour, because again, and I built them as well, fully detailed interiors and engines and fighting compartments and all the rest of it that you don't see once you put it together. But again, with that type of thing, you can. So anyway, a little bit of a surprise gem for that one. So it's really nice to see that Hobby 2000 now reboxed it. So it's definitely going to have to be a little bit of a must from me. As always, it is available from the PM store, so if you want to grab it from us, you can do it as always, or use the normal places will have it as well. So anyway, that is the 1/35 scale Hobby 2000 ZSU 57-2.